Hey folks, it's Andrew. We're going to continue on and we're going to try to go ahead and use Whisper. I want to go ahead and make a new repo in here. I'm going to make a new one called ASR task. Okay, and I'm going to go get an existing repo that I already have. So just give me a moment there to get it pulled up here. So I'm trying to check my proficiency test, but we're going to go over to GitHub. Exam Pro Code GenAI Essentials. I already have code in here. If I have OPA in here, that'd make my life easier. I have OPA Basic, OPA.sh. No, not OPA, I meant OpenVino. I mean, doesn't necessarily mean the OpenVino. We just want to use Whisper right now. I was going to use my AIPC. I was just having a bit of network issues. Nothing wrong with the AIPC, but just issues with my network. And so I just want to go and get this to work here. Okay, so in here, oh, that's the free GenAI bootcamp. I actually want, it's like the training day stuff, training. There it is. And so in here, I have an intermediate and into this one. I have one with OpenVino and with Hugging Face, right? So if you're using the IPC, you use this version here. All it does is add an additional step where it's optimizing it for Intel hardware, which is really, really great. I'm going to just use the Hugging Face Whisper one here. If I have time and I figure out my networking issue, I will go back and we'll use Whisper. As for those who do have an AIPC, I'd love to follow along there with you. I'm going to go here and change this out to Whisper. And we'll see if we can get this working here. We need a kernel. So we need to go down here. We should already have, yeah, it says base over here. So I need to make a new environment. So I'm going to go ahead and make requirements readme.md. And I don't always remember how to do that, but maybe we can kind of cheat here. I don't usually do this, but we will try and cheat here and just say like, create new Conda environment. Right here, we'll do this. There we go. There we go. That's what I wanted. We probably need very specific things installed, but I'm going to go ahead and just try this here. Well, you know, maybe I'll go back because I probably have instructions in here for the OpenVino setup. Jupyter Lab. OpenVino, Conda Forge, TensorFlow. So we do in TensorFlow there, but I'm going to just ignore that, I guess, because it's not a whole lot of code. And so I do want to install a new one. We'll do Python 3.11. That seems fine by me. Make sure I go to the right directory here. We'll just go ahead and do Conda ASR task here, Python 3.11. And so once that's installed, then we can go ahead and run this in isolate. We don't need to use Hugging Face for this. We could use the base one, which is even simpler, which is found in this project here. But I want to have more full control. And if I come back with another video to show off OpenVino, I'm going to want to go ahead and do that, okay? So I'm going to go here and take a look here. So we have Conda activate environment, sure. I mean, we don't have to activate it here. We do need to install IronPython, though, if we want to use that environment. But I think when we go ahead and we, well, okay, well, what about, it has to also have like Conda install C, Conda Forge, Iron, IP kernel, because it's going to need that. But we need to activate this environment first. We probably should have done it in one line, but whatever, that's fine. Conda activate ASR here. And then I can go ahead and install that because we need IP kernel for that to work. Okay, set up Conda environment for the Whisper IPYNB. Okay. And we'll just say yes down here. We'll go ahead and let that run. And then once that is set up, it is set up now, we can go back over to here and we will switch out to our kernel here. So I mean, it should show, this is always a kind of a frustrating thing for me, is getting it to show the correct thing, but I think it matters how we open the folder. So I remember, like, if I open it this way, no, it's opening the correct way. Yeah, so that shouldn't be a problem. Install suggested extensions. Maybe because I'm in Windsurf and I've never installed the extensions, that's why it's not showing up. Because I think I normally work in this in VS Code or even Jupyter Notebooks. We'll go ahead and get that installed here. Okay, so now we should be able to choose kernel, Python environments. Here we go. ASR task. There we go. So we'll go ahead and do this, run it. I always do this to make sure we know what exact version we have. So we have transformers, IP widgets, SciPy, torch audio. I would think that it would also need, I think it would also need to have, what do you call it? TensorFlow, but I guess we'll find out as we're working through this. Often you need TensorFlow and PyTorch. We'll give this a moment to install. This one's going here too. It'll take a little bit of time, not too long, but we'll be back here in a moment. All right, so that's now complete. So we have that. And there's different sizes of models that we can run. And so what I found was that small was the smallest one we could handle. So I'm going to go over to OpenAI Whisper for a second, OpenAI Whisper. Because I want to show you, there's different sizes of models here. I'll scroll on down. And we have tiny, base, small, medium, large, turbo. So the thing is that the smaller it is, the faster it is. But the larger it is, the better it performs. In terms of multilingual, it does a lot better the larger it is. So small was the bare minimum that I needed to get Japanese to properly work. If you're doing English, it might work perfectly on small. Notice how much VRAM is required, virtual memory. So 2 is fine. 5 is pushing it for me. I don't know if this is shared memory or the memory that it needs to be stored, but maybe I can go larger. I don't know. I don't know what turbo is. I've never used turbo. But you'll see here it says Whisper performs variety of depending on the tasks below. The figure below shows a performance breakdown of large version 3 against those things, additional stuff. And so they're showing you like how they perform. So we're going to assume English does really, really well. So I'm looking for English here. Where is English? English 9.3 and Japanese 10.3. So I don't know exactly how to read this, but the point is that Japanese and English, pretty similar in terms of performance. Okay. And it's interesting, they actually show Japanese as the example there. But again, we're using it through Hugging Face, which is slightly different. But let's go back over to here, and I'm going to just go ahead and download this. It's going to download the Whisper model. Or sorry, this doesn't download it yet. It's going to download here in just a moment. So here we are setting up a the auto model for speech sequence to sequence pipeline. We're setting up for ASR. We have a model, et cetera, et cetera. We're going to go ahead, and this should download the model, I believe. Yeah, I think this is the step where it downloads the model. I'm not sure why it's complaining about these all of a sudden, but maybe because we're in Whisper in Windsurf and not using VS Code. But I know this part works, so I'm not really worried about it. Here, we're going to need a voice sample. So this is the device is set to CPU. We do not want this to be CPU. So I'm going to go here and just see if there's a way to switch that out, because I do have GPUs. How can we set this to be GPUs? Make PyTorch, make sure PyTorch is using a GPU device. Okay. I'll just switch into sitting here. I've been standing too long. Because, you know, if I'm on my AI PC, then it would technically use CPUs, but I want to utilize my GPUs where I can, right? This seems to be a pre-trained model. To enable GPUs and Hugging Face transforms, we usually have to make sure the PyTorch is using a GPU device. Explicitly tell the model. It says here, I show you how to modify the ASCII code to do that. Let me check to see if there's a correct path. Okay, so to enable GPU PyTorch-based models, check if CUDA is available. Set the device parameter when loading the model. Set the device parameter. So current code is running CPU indicated by this line. I'll show you how to modify the code GPU. I apologize for the confusion. I can't directly propose edits to the Jupyter Notebook, but I can show you what to do. That's fine. You're in chat anyway. You can't. I'm not letting you make direct changes, so that is totally fine, Claude. But here, take a look and see what they're suggesting here. So check if a GPU is enabled. So we'll go here, and it has to be after PyTorch. So we're gonna grab the stuff here. We'll give this a paste. And what we're trying to do is see if the GPUs are available. If we go up to here, it seems like we might have installed PyTorch with the CPU version, so it might not even work that way. And this just seems to be hanging. It's not doing anything. Is it gonna finish executing? What's going on? Why is this so hard? Yeah, so I'm not exactly sure. We'll go back down to here. We'll try this again. Yeah, I don't know why it's just hanging here. We'll go ahead and say print. Oops. Print. Hello. I wanted to see if it does anything here. It shouldn't hang so bad. What if we just comment out the other two lines? I'm just doing a sanity check here. Is there maybe like another one that's hanging and that's why it's having a hard time? Yeah, this is weird. I'm going to interrupt. Clear all outputs so I can see what I'm doing. Run this one individually. What's going on? This can't even do a print. Very, very unusual. Because it should be able to do a freaking print here. Yeah, normally what you just do is specify the device down here below. That's normally what you do, but even this is kind of messing up. I don't know what's going on here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just stop this. I'm going to completely close this out. We're going to reopen WindSurf because that's just kind of weird what's going on there. And we'll give this another try here. We'll hit run. There we go. So now it's running, no problem. It was weird that it was hanging there before. I'm not sure why. But we'll go ahead and we'll delete this line out and this line out. We'll try to run this again. Name torch is not defined. So I'm not sure if we should bring in this one here because this looks like the CPU version of it, right? So I'm just going to wipe that out there. I don't really trust that. I'm going to go ahead and run this again. And so I'm hoping that this way we'll install PyTorch specifically with GPUs. And so that looks like that's done. I'll hit restart here. It suggests that we should do that. And now that we've restarted, we'll go ahead and press this. Torch is not defined. What are you talking about? It's right here. Maybe because we're not importing it. Import torch. There we go. Using CPU. So this is the problem where, you know, I'm trying to use CPUs, but it's showing GPUs, right? Let's see what it can suggest here. This is, again, the hardest part about this development is getting these things to actually work properly. The code is for CUDA. If it sets the device to CUDA 0, the first GPU, otherwise it sets the CPU. The message then prints when the device is. It sounds like the user wants to force the use of CPUs, regardless of the GPUs. No, I want to use GPUs. No, 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 no. No, I want to use GPUs. I'm trying to figure out why it's returning CPUs. Dumb Sonnet 3.7. This should use CUDA available. No, I do have a CUDA compatible GPU. Let's go ahead and try this above here. And I'll go ahead and run this. So it shows. Okay, so what maybe I need to do is I need to redo this environment because it has that CPU one installed, and that's not going to help us. So I'm just trying to think about this for a second, like when you install PyTorch, does it already support GPUs? If you just run, then you'll typically get the CPU version only. Oh. Since you're using WSL, you need to make sure you have WSL 12 and WSL 2. One, I do have to install the appropriate NVIDIA drivers, install PyTorch with the CUDA version that matches your drivers. Okay. Okay. Instructions, please. I mean, I already have WSL 2. I already know that. WSL -- list -- verbose. Verbose here. I guess I can't list it when I'm within it, but I know that that's what I have here. I don't need to do this. I know I already have the NVIDIA toolkit installed. We can go ahead and just do this. We can see that we get something here. This should display the GPU information. So we go here, and in here, we have CUDA version 12.6. Also go down here, and this is going to give us back CUDA, which we have 12 over here. Again, it's 12.6. And so, I mean, the version I have is 12.6. So here it literally just says to do torch, like that, for the latest version, for 12. Well, that's good. Let's go back over to here. And I have torch. It's specifying a very specific version. I don't want to do that. I just want to say install torch. So we need torch, torch vision, torch audio. Install torch. Torch vision. Torch vision, torch audio. Okay. I need to clear out. So we go to like reset Conda environment. Reset. There we go. Yeah, that's what I need to do because we installed the CPU version and that's not going to help us out. At least not right now. And we'll just say yes. So we'll wipe that clean. Yes. And now that's wiped. And so we'll go ahead and try this again. So let's do 311. Usually I have best success with 310, but you know, I'm trying to move and be more progressive. There's 312 Python, but I have a lot of problems with Python 312. We'll go ahead and say yes here. And I'm going to go and activate this here. And then I need to install Conda IP kernel here. Okay. We'll say yes. Just yes, 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 yes. And so now let's install. We'll go back over to here, and we should still be in ASR. I'll just do a restart here. We'll give our Python version. That's fine. We have transformers, IP widgets, SciPy, and these things. So we'll go ahead and hit enter. And hopefully that installs without issues. We'll give it a moment to install. Okay, so now, yeah, that's installed here. Let's go ahead and run this so we can see, do we get the correct stuff? So we have torch version CUDA. It says 12.4. I'm on 12.6. Hopefully that's not a problem. They're still both on the major version, so I'm hoping that's not a major issue here. Let's go run this, make sure, and it's now choosing CUDA. That's perfect. I don't know if I have the previous conversation here as, maybe I do. No, I don't, because it's wiped out here. What's over here? Past conversations. Perfect. And so in here, that might have been the conversation we just had. It's here. And so I don't think we'd have to specify the device. I think it would automatically pick it up. But let's go ahead and see what happens. So we'll run this one here. Okay, and then we'll run this one here. I think this downloads the model. But what we're hoping to see here, okay, the device is set to CUDA 0. Maybe it doesn't download the model here. And so, well, where else could it download? It has to download it here. Yeah, it has to download it here. But we need some kind of sample audio. So I'm just thinking about this here. Doesn't even set it for specific languages. We don't even have that setting. I mean, I do have one that I have from before. So it's in the prior project. And so I'm thinking, well, we can actually just use the one that's in here. So if we go to the visual novel, into public, into assets, into audio, into dialogue, we have this wake up one, okay? So I'll go ahead and copy this and I'll paste it into here. And so we have this wake up audio clip, and that was synthetically generated by from Microsoft AI speech services, which they have really good audio stuff. But I couldn't get if I could use the managed service to grab the timing of the words, I'd do that, but I can't. I know that for AWS they have limited voices, but they perfectly return back the time codes. So it's just really a trade of what you want. I just wanted a better voice and more voices to utilize, especially for this game. So I need to find a process that will do that, and I think Whisper can do it. So we'll go ahead and we'll run this here. So now, so we're just checking if the path exists. I'm gonna go here and maybe just say file name, and that way I don't have to spend so much time. Wake up.wave, figuring that out here. File name here, like that. We'll go ahead and run it like this. Just say file name. I don't know why we do that and then we have it there. That's a bit silly. But we'll do file name here. We already have the file name. We don't have to do file name 100 times. So we'll go ahead and we'll just say file name. There was a lot of work to get this to convert. So whatever I have for the code here is perfect, but you'll see like I had issues with like the versioning and stuff like that, but this should be proper now. And so now we should be able to transcribe. I put this here because if we don't put that in here, it just won't show us the time. Well, actually it does show it here, but I think in maybe it's in Jupyter. Jupyter doesn't show it there, so you have to put that in there, but I guess we do get the time here. You have passed the transcribe, but also have set force decoder IDs, which creates a conflict. In favor of the task transcribe, the attention mask cannot be set but inferred in the input because the token is EOS. As a consequence, you may have unexpected behaviors. I remember I'd always get this and I would just ignore it. But you have also set force decoder IDs. I have. See, this is not, I'm not setting anything. It's underneath, right? So anyway, let's print it out. It did this in 5 seconds. And there's our perfect decoding, right? Perfect. It's perfect, right? I don't know what's going on there. So what I'm going to do is go to the internet here because I have a sample that I know that is reliable. It's in this intermediate workshop. I'm going to go ahead and download it because I just want to first initially get this to work correctly. Whoops. Not there. We'll try this again here. And because I need to rule out first that it's my audio sample. You have to get the audio format correct, and it's very particular. It's a big pain in the butt. And so in here, I'm going to try the other one that I know that works. But in the other ones, I actually use CPUs to do that. So JP sample dot wave. Okay, we'll go ahead and we'll run this here. And then we'll run this one here. Super, super fast. Well, that just... I think for this, I might just merge these together so I don't have to keep constantly have these two separate frames here. Cut. Paste. Cut. paste. There we go. And then we'll just delete out this frame here. That's fine. I'll run that again. And then we will run this again. And our output here is garbled nonsense. What is going on? This is unusual. What could be wrong? Notice it's also not throwing the errors we had before about something something. Chunk non-data not understood, skipping it. Oh, now it works. What the heck? All I did was run it again. Maybe sometimes it doesn't decode properly. Okay, so we have the decoding. That's accurate. Neko wa kawaii desu. Maybe all I had to do is run it again. Or maybe it wasn't loading the other file. Let's go ahead and try wake up now. And we'll go ahead and run this. It's a little bit larger, so it's going to take a little bit more time. So it doesn't like something about that file. So let's go and reveal this. I can't reveal, but I will go into the folder manually. And maybe there's something about the audio file that makes it a problem, right? So we go into here, we go into FreeGenAI, we go into Visual Novel, we go into our, no, that's not where we're going. We're going into the ASR task. And so it makes me think that there's something different. Show me properties. But this one and this one, okay? So there's something clearly different about these two files. I mean, this one here, that's not it. I want this file here, sorry. And so there's clearly something different between these two files. I mean, this one I recorded my natural voice. This one here is synthetically generated. But there could be details that are different. So we go to the details here. This one here is at 768 kilobits. This one's at 256 kilobits. This one's at 24. This one's at 16 hertz, 16, right? So there's some key difference here with this stuff. And so all I'm thinking is maybe I got to convert this one over that. But like, you can't go up, right? This one can only be that particular quality. But I need to change this here. So I'm going to go take a screenshot here. The wake up wave doesn't work with Whisper. But the JP sample does. How can I convert using FFmpeg to match the audio settings to JP sample.wave? Because that's what I'm thinking that it is. They're both AAC files. It needs to go up from this. Sample size needs to go up from 32-bit. Right, so here, yeah, let's see if we can run this, right? And so we'll go here and just say audio format file. And we'll see if this fixes our problem. I don't know if it will, but there's only one way to find out, right? We just got to run it. And so we're going to go into the ASR directory here. I already have FFmpeg installed. If I don't, did it output? It didn't. What's the problem? I mean, we do have FFmpeg installed. I'm going to go ahead and run this here, see what it tells me. Well, you gave me the syntax. Okay, and we'll try this. See if this is any different. Yeah, it's a bit different. That's fine. We'll go ahead and try this again. And we will paste it in here. And so it looks like it converted it over. Good. Let's go take a look and see what the options are here. We will show and then properties. And we go to details. Now it is matching the other one. I'm going to go play it, make sure I can actually hear it. Let's see how loud the other one is here. Okay, so they're equivalently the same thing, but now the format is the same. So I'm hoping with that conversion, that will fix the problem. Maybe when I created the audio file, I could have probably told it what sampling I wanted originally from Azure AI, but I thought it made a really good choice with Wave originally, but apparently not. So we'll have to see about that. Now, the next thing I need to do is we need to go back over to here, and we're going to go back over to Whisper, and we need to swap out this here. Actually, I'll just put another one here, file name, like that. And so this one, we might have less of an issue. So here it says, read the 32-bit wave format. And let's see what it says here. It says we can't use Wave standard format library because it can't read 32 files in Adobe Edition. You can export lower than 32, so you'll have to convert it using the SciPy Wave. I wonder if I'm doing useless conversions and maybe the original file was fine. We'll go ahead and run this here. And we'll run this pipeline again. And now we'll try this. And there we go. So their format is fixed. Is this a good translation? Anata wa atarashi aparto apato ni yori. Ashita no, was it chirari? I don't know how to say that. Ga, mado, window, no naka, o. I'm not sure what that says here. Yoni, anata wa okita. So that looks correct based on the original sentence translation. The only thing is we're not getting back time codes. We're getting this structure back. And so does Whisper return back word by word time codes? Can I do that? Here it says, well, this says timestamps, right? But I don't have any of that. I mean, I have this timestamp, 0.84 or 0 to 8.4. So Whisper can return timestamps with some nuances, default behavior. By default, when you set this, as you've done in the Whisper, returns timestamps at the chunk level, phase, or sentences, not individual words. Word level timestamps, to get word by word, you need to specify word. Oh my goodness, can I just do that? Because they said before they couldn't do it. Is this just lying? Sometimes they'd like to lie to me, but we'll go ahead and we'll see what happens here. That'd be really exciting if it does it. So go ahead and do that. And now print it. And I don't think it does that. When you set it to Word, did I? I did. The output format will be different. Instead of just getting chunks, you'll get text, chunks, and words. Text? I don't get that. Okay, well, let me try this one more time. Just in case. I'm doing something wrong here. I don't think I am. Oh, you know what? Chunks is being returned initially. Let's take that part out. Maybe that's why we were confused. And now let's print this out. Whisper did not predict an ending timestamp, which can happen if the audio is cut off in the middle of the word. Also make sure Whisper timestamp logic processor was used during the generation. I don't know, I'm just using Hugging Face here. And so here, I mean, here, Rebecca, this is, come on, copy the freaking content here. Let's try this again here. Copy, cell content, paste it in here. What is going on? Just paste it, 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 paste it. It won't paste the cell content. Copy cell outputs. Paste it. Oh my goodness. Paste it, please. Just paste it. Oh, we have more than one. What the heck's going on here? What the heck? Delete, delete. I think it might have been copied each time here. Let's try this. Oh my goodness. Okay, we'll go next to next line. Print transcription. There we go. We'll do that. Run this, run that. Okay. Now we have this. Copy cell output. I don't know why it's doing that. Right click. Copy from here. Right click. I can't copy paste it out. Let me just try anything like text field here. Nope. I can't copy out the contents. This is so stupid. Open cell outputs in text editor. There we go. That's such a dumb way to figure it out, but we'll go ahead and we'll just do word wrap here. And we'll grab it, copy, paste. No, where's words? This is what I got back. Well, I think it'll know if I just paste it in here. Not the words. To get word level, you need to modify the code earlier specified. Well, I did do that. I did make the change. It didn't give me words. I don't think it knows. I think it's just making things up. They're using an older version of Transformer that doesn't support word level timestamps. The specific Whisper model they're using might not support word level timestamps. They might be an issue with how they're... This is what it's guessing, right? The issue with word level timestamps can be tricky to get whispered, especially for non-English languages. Try a different approach. The latest versions of Transformers is 4.27, has improved support for timestamps. Here's what we should try. Let's go take a look at what version of Transformers we're using. We're not specifying any specific version here, so it should get the latest, right? And here, we'll take a look here and see what we have. ASR, model, chunk length. This is identical. This is identical too. So here they're using the Whisper processor much more directly. How do you know that OpenWhisper supports word by word? Did you check the internet? Did you check the web? As if it knows. We'll give it a second here. So here it says, like, doesn't support word level timestamps. The official Whisper model and Transformer has limited capabilities, primarily on segment and chunk. For word level, there are specialized variants like WhisperX, a project that refines Whisper timestamps that force alignments for phenome-based ASR models. We have CRISPR Whisper, an advanced variant specifically designed for verbatim transcriptions with word accurate level transcriptions. For Japanese specifically, this is even more challenging since the language doesn't use spaces between words. Okay, but I mean, like, that shouldn't matter because Whisper is still taking something and making something audio. So using WhisperX, implementing a post-processing step could do that using a different ASR specifically designed for precision word output. So let's go take a look. I've never heard of WhisperX. There are other models, but we'll go take a look here and see if we can find something because we need to go off the beaten path to get what we want. So we have WhisperX. Not sure how old this is. So this repo provides ASR, 70 times real-time V2 with word level timestamps. That's what we want. Batch inference for 70 times real time. Okay. Whisper is an ASR model. But can it support other languages? Usage. Run Whisper for a segment here, WhisperX. Let's play this back, see what we get. Oh, so here it's saying like, okay, it's selecting. That's what we want. Other languages. So here it says the phononym is an alignment model is language specific. For tested language, these models are automatically picked from Torch, audio pipelines, or Hugging Face. Just pass the code. And currently, default models provide for English, French, Dutch, Espanol, Italian. Anyone doing those languages, you're lucky. Via Torch, audio pipelines, and many other via Hugging Face. Please find the list currently supported using the default Hugging Face on alignments.py. So maybe we can still do it. Okay, so we do have, these are the default alignments for Torch, which is fine, but we don't care. We're using Hugging Face right now, so it's totally fine. We'll go here, and I'm looking for Japanese. Usually Japanese is JP for Japanese. Oh, there it is. So it's using this one here. Perfect. So maybe we can get it with the Japanese. We'll go over to here. Here they have Python usage. I'm trying to figure out how do we use this with Hugging Face. So here we have WhisperX. I mean, we could just use WhisperX directly too. That might be fine. But here it says WhisperX, load audio file, transcribe the audio file, load the align model, WhisperX align. But I guess my question is like, if it needs the Hugging Face in other languages, let's go take a look at another example for other languages. Please have Japanese. We got French. You got German. You got Italian. You got Japanese. Ah, there's Japanese. There's Japanese. Let's take a look here.
意見なんですけど、やっぱり認識率がすごくいいのもあると、悪いのもあります。で、放送のニュースなんかはやっぱり 95% ぐらいの。
So what I'm trying to figure out, like, is that useful? Because here it seems like it's literally doing each character. But let's take a look here again.
で、これも私の主観というか経験なんですけど、やっぱり認識率がすごくいいのもあると、悪いのもあります。で、放送。
Yeah, so it's not just doing words; it's literally doing characters. But I mean, if that's the best I can get, that's the best I can get because it's either entire chunks of sentences or this. So WhisperX clearly can work. Like if it just installs, I don't really need to run it through Hugging Face or anything. And if it just works, that'd be really cool. But then how do we install it? Just this pip install WhisperX. Really? Is that all we got to do to use it? Is this whole convoluted thing that I have completely useless? We'll go ahead and do this. I mean, if it works, I can't complain, right? We're just doing pip install WhisperX. Okay. So it's installing it. How we would change it on this side, I don't know, but we'll just try to run it manually and see what we get, okay? The other question is like, what size is it running? I don't even know because it's not like we're choosing like WhisperX small, right? So I think it's just whatever we have is what we run. So stable release, just do that. And then apparently it can just take an audio file. So I guess we'll just try this here. Okay, I'll go over to here, readme, WhisperX. Open Whisper does not word by word. We can use WhisperX. So here, pip install WhisperX. And so we need to bring in our sample. We have our converted file. I'm not sure if it even matters. It might do the work for us, but just in case it doesn't, we'll go ahead and do this. So I'm not sure what the output will be, but we'll give it a try here. So let's go ahead and copy this here. And well, yeah, we know. Give it a second here. There we go. It's downloading the model. I think we can, was it Task Manager? If we want to see if it's actually using our resources here, where was it? Here. Then we can see what happens. Obviously, I'm using GPUs right now for recording, so I'm not sure if this will be an issue or conflict. We'll give this a moment to download, okay? And I didn't notice it, but I didn't see anything uptick here. Let's go back over to here. Let's take a look what we have. So it says could not. What can it do? So here it downloads the model. Model was trained with Pi Audio 001. It can be re-enabled with this. Okay, so it has whatever this problem is. I'm not sure what the problem is here. We'll go ahead and ask. When trying to run in command line. So I'm not sure the problem is here. It's CUDA specific problem. Come on, let me scroll up. The user is encouraging a missing library. Requires CUDA library, specifically CUDA deep neural network library, which appears to be missing on your system. Alternatively, since you're working in a notebook environment, you might have your better luck. Write Whisper directly in Python rather than command line. Okay. I guess that's another suggested way to run it. So like, will this work with my CUDA version of 12.6? Because that looks like it's an older version of CUDA. The version numbers needs to match. So for CUDA 12.6, CUDA that specifically supports it. For CUDA 12.6, you would need to install compatible CUDA versions. And there's a way to manage CUDA versions and switch between the two. I know there's a way to do it, but we'll go ahead and just do this for a second. So here we're on 12. Use the NVIDIA Package Manager. Avoid system level dependencies. Okay, so maybe that's what we need to do. We need to just make a new notebook called for WhisperX. So we'll make a new one here called WhisperX.ipynb. IPYNB. And I'm going to add a new code block here. This is doing 3.10, which is fine. We need to install, which is our specific version of CUDA, I guess. I mean, if we use the latest, it works, but I guess we can try and do this very specific one. Okay, we'll run this here. ASR task for now. We can always clear it out if there's a problem with that. And then we will do pip install here, WhisperX, which is already installed, by the way. And then we'll bring this one down here. And then it says use it via Python. Okay, well then how do I do that? It's all this code here. So we'll bring this here, paste it in. We'll try to give this a go. It is using the large model. Okay. I don't have much experience using the large model, to be honest. I always just use the small, but I'm sure I can run the large. We'll be able to tell with our GPUs over here and memory usage. Right, so you see the memory is, it's okay right now. We'll go back over to here. And the kernel crashed executing a cell from the previous call. Click here for more information. It doesn't tell us why. So here, okay, so it's not telling us exactly what's wrong. It says here, I mean, that's not our error, but it could be the same problem. Like, we can't really tell. Oh, and here we didn't do this. Like, we do have PyTorch installed on here, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back over to here. I'm going to deactivate the environment. I'm going to clear everything out again. We have to do that quite a bit. And again, just trying to get WhisperX to work, as it clearly can do the job for us, supposedly, if we can get it to work. So now that we've done that, we'll go ahead and try this again, 3.11, and then we'll do ASR task next. We'll give it a moment here. This is where I found a bit of a challenge, because like if something's built with an older version of CUDA, then you have to manage those versions. Okay. And transcribe the whisper, get the timestamp. So I'm going to just separate out this part and this part as you exactly see what's going on here. But I'm thinking like if there's a problem here, then it probably is occurring on this line here. Say yes. Okay, so now that's all that stuff's installed. We'll go ahead and run this. Oh, sorry, restart kernel, yeah. I guess we were installing Condaforge, that's right. So now we can go up here and we go run this and see if it installs without conflicts. I'm assuming this is our correct version, but we installed Torch in the other one fine and we didn't have a problem with it. It doesn't matter if it's Intel hardware or NVIDIA hardware or AMD hardware. This stuff's always a pain in the butt to get running. There's a lot of compatibility things you have to worry about, but you have to learn your hardware, your system to solve those problems. We'll wait for that to finish downloading here. All right, so here it says those are installed. We'll go ahead and install WhisperX now. And I believe it's now installed. I think it installs pretty darn quick. Go to here. No, I guess it's still going. Oh, no, it's still installing this. Okay, great. And so now the next cell should run. Yeah, it's really exciting. If we can get that to work, that'd be really cool. And then we run this. No module named WhisperX. What are you talking about? Oh, it's still installing. We got to be patient, I guess. Okay, we'll continue on here. Hopefully it just works. Please no errors, please no errors. Still going. It's still going. Mall is trained on that, then you should use that. The kernel crashed. The kernel crashed with executing the code in the cell or previous cell. Please review the code in the cell to identify possible causes. It's kind of annoying because we can't really tell what's going on here. What if we go to the Jupyter logs down below here? Here. Does it explain what the problem is? It doesn't explain why it crashed. We don't even know why it crashed. Though there are these very specific versions that it wants. So we'll go back over to here. I remember this is kind of a pain. What was it that we had to do here? We need to go here and say open open this in text. How did we do that last time? Uh-huh. It's really frustrating trying to copy content out of here. Clear, copy cells. I'm not sure why I brought this one in here. This is not even related to this model. Can I copy this out of here? I don't think I can. We had this problem before where we can't, oh, maybe it's, here it is, right click. That's what I have to do. It didn't even give me all the text. Come on, come on. Right click, editor right here. Here it is, this is what I want. We'll copy this. I don't know if this is our problem because like, if the other one's using that CUDA 8 version, we really have to fix our whole computer to CUDA 8, which is a nightmare. The user is showing no warnings about versions, warning indicated about this. Here we can install very specific versions. Here, however, is a challenge. When using CUDA 12.6, but the model expects 10 or a significant difference of CUDA versions, a better approach would be to use a Docker container with the exact environments that it requires. That's not a bad idea. Just a second. All right, so here, yeah, we have WhisperX Legacy. I don't need to do that. I'm just going to have that particular version, but we'll go over to here, and it wants CUDA 6. Like, is there a way? I know there is, but like, how to manage multiple CUDA versions? Frickin' CUDA. Is it possible? There is a way. There's a tool, isn't there? But a process can only use it at a time. A GPU can use more than one version at a time using the process. Toolkit with the CUDA tool is the most referenced when they're talking about CUDA. It's the only thing that's downloaded and installed. What a nightmare to get this to work. I mean, the other thing is it just says to run it in a container, right? So here, I mean, like WhisperX container. If somebody already has it, that'll save us a lot of trouble. It's effectively maintain continuous Docker to GitHub free runner on a weekly basis, which is fine. Once you have installed Docker Desktop, CUDA, and the NVIDIA Windows drivers, ensure your Docker is running WSL2. It is. And here, already pre-built images, and it has different sizes. Okay. So, you know, was it failing because too much memory or whatever? But here you can see they actually have different sizes. I need a very specific language. So codebase in these images align with the GitHub submodule. That looks like Japanese to me right there. V3JA. That's probably what I need too. Let's go over to here. It is. Oh, look at me. I found something good. Let's just go ahead and grab this. Hey, if it works, it works. We'll go back over to here. And so OpenWhisper cannot do, we can use Whisper. WhisperX is very hard to install because it needs specific version of CUDA, e.g. 8 and PyTorch versions. So let's try using a Docker container, because this will make our lives a lot easier if it just works. And I will take it if it just works. So here we have GPU all, and I guess we can mount the app directory. That's fine. I'll just leave that alone there. Here we're taking the audio file. So this one is the wake up converted. So we'll go ahead and rename this here, copy this. Okay. We'll hit paste. That's why it's good to know Docker. We have more options available to us here of what we want to do. We should have Docker already installed on here. If you don't, you gotta get Docker on your machine. But this is specifically for WSL, and there it's doing that there. So let's go ahead and run it. So the thing is, this container will run once and then stop. I'm gonna go ahead and hope this just works. I'm hoping, again, it just works, but we'll see what happens here. We need to monitor usage here. Okay. So I don't know what's gonna happen here. But right now, if I'm using up half my memory, which I am, but it says I have 64, and so if it only needs like 10 or whatever, it seems like I should have a lot of memory, right? But we will let this download, and it's going to run as well, so 5 gigabytes, geez, that's large. Yeah, I'll be here for a bit, so I'm just going to pause. I'll be back in a bit. All right, so we're pretty close to having this thing downloaded. Obviously, 5 gigs takes quite a bit of time, but once it's done, it's going to try to run. And we want to monitor our resources here, see what's going to happen here. And it is now just extracting it. Okay, so now it's downloading. It's just extracting the results here. And I wonder if to get this to work, I'll really have to stop recording to find out here. But I guess we'll find out when this runs. I just hope it doesn't exhaust my resources. I'm going to stop the video here before it runs and then start again just so I can see what's going on, okay?